Way. I've just realised I've just sat myself in a bramble, but we'll carry on. Now, if you're like me and you're over 50, I'm over 60, I'm 63 years old, but if you're anything like me, you've seen videos on YouTube that have titles like, I wish I'd known this before I was 60, or I wish I'd known this before I retired. Well, I've got to be honest with you and say that I think that we did know already. The titles should be more like, I wish I'd listened more, or I wish I'd taken it on board, or something like that. The fact remains is that nothing really has come as a surprise to me in my 60s. I knew it would happen, I just hadn't paid it much attention. I was listening to these stories from people already in their 60s and 70s, you know, back when I was 20, 30, 40, and particularly when I was 20, I would never have listened, you know, finance, health and well-being, good diets. No, it weren't of interest. I just wanted to get on with my life. You're over 60 or 70, you can go over there and sit in an armchair if you like. Well, you know what? Being 60, 70 isn't sitting in an armchair, and we know that now. So I just want to tackle the things that I think come up in these videos, but flip it around a little bit, because as I said earlier, I think we should have known, we did know, we just not paid it attention. So I'm going to take, I've got a mad dog here. Oh, come and say hello. Come and say hello. No, I don't think they can see you. Oh, there you go. Maybe. I'm going to take the dog for a walk. In your time, it'll be about 2 seconds. In my time, it'll be a lot longer. But while you're waiting, I'm just going to show you where I am, because I'm on a glorious beach called Oxwich on the Gower. Come on in, big boy. Come on in. Come on. I don't know, it's July here in the UK. Well, in fact, it's July everywhere. 2 weeks ago, we had red warning weathers for heat wave. Last week it was cold and it was rainy. This morning it was mediocre, but as you can see, I had a bit of gilet on. And now it's roasting again. So I'll be taking this coat off soon anyway. So one of the things that I was told as a youngster was my body would change, and things weren't as easy, and it was tougher to lose weight and harder to keep muscle mass and all of these things. And you think, you know, especially as a 20-year-old, it's like, oh, get yourself down the gym. It's not that easy, is it? But it's not all doom and gloom either. You know, I walk the dog, I play a bit of golf, I've got a gym membership. That didn't last too long, I've got to say. But I've got one. It makes me feel fitter just having a membership. Although technically it's not working. What are you doing? No, we're going this way. Come on. But yeah, our bodies change. You know, I wake up in the morning and I feel like I'm 21 until I go to move. Then you notice a bit of creaking and groaning and the odd sharp stab of pain and the arthritis playing up. But you know what? Take a couple of painkillers and then go for a walk. I know not everybody's as fortunate as me. I understand that some people are really ill, but predominantly we can get out there, we can walk. I walk quite a long way because of this big boy, but you don't have to. You can walk 100 yards. Next day make it 110 yards, make it 120 yards the next day. Just build it up slowly if you can. So the whole body thing, yeah, we're getting older. Just accept it, move on, make the most of what you've got, like everything in life. Then comes finances. We were always told to put a few pennies away for the future. Again, when you're 20, you go, that's like 40 years ago. That's 2 lifetimes for me away, you know. But isn't it surprising how quickly that rolled around and came up on us? I mean, I went to bed at, I think I was probably about 30 when I went to bed, and when I woke up I was probably 54. That period I just whizzed past, absolutely whizzed past. And if we haven't put enough pennies away, yeah, it's a bit of an issue, but we can do one or two things. We can learn to budget, or we can go and get ourselves a little part-time job, not a career, nothing that's going to tax us mentally, you know, I don't know, pushing trolleys back at the supermarket, filling shelves an evening a week. There's always things we can do to make amends for what we haven't done in the past. My pension, I was fairly fortunate. It was more luck than judgment. I had started in one career. I'd done 5 years. I was really young. I'd done 5 years. And then when I seconded my main career, when I moved into that, they said, do you want to move your pension over? And I was like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'll do that. Signed the piece of paper. Best thing I ever did, because it put me 5 years into this new pension plan, which was much, much better than the original one. I didn't know that at the time, so sometimes luck is better than judgment. But if I had, or if I do need to make some money, I'm quite happy to go and push trolleys in a supermarket. It's not my career, it's not what I'm trained to do, but it's nice. I could get out and I could talk to people, and I could sort of interact with other people. So that might be a second benefit, if you like, to getting a second job, is getting out there and having a bit of banter with your colleagues, away from your family, away from your friends, your normal friends, getting out there and keeping your world wide open. So again, just like the health, it's not all doom and gloom. Work with what you've got, move it forward if you need to. Just make sure that you're living the best possible life that you possibly can, whatever stage you're at. Let's move a little bit. Come on in, big boy. The next one, I guess, is self-worth, how you perceive yourself. Does that change when you retire? I know for some people it does. It didn't for me, but I know that it can do for some people. And because it doesn't for me, I sort of think to myself, well, why would you think any worse of yourself or any less of yourself just because you're not working? Well, I guess it's because if you spend a whole career working, you knew what your purpose in life was. So it was to provide for your family. You go out, you work, you earn some money, you bring it home, put food on the table. Mostly nowadays, your partner's probably doing the same. But to me, it wasn't a loss of self-worth as such. But after the first couple of months, I did find that I didn't know what to do with myself, quite frankly. You know, the first few months you go on all these holidays and weekends away and all the rest of it. And there's only so many holidays you can go on. Here in the UK, there's only a certain time of the year you can really play golf comfortably, because I'm a bit of a fair weather golfer. There's only so many times you can do DIY around the house. And all of a sudden then you find yourself in this perhaps a void. Well, I didn't find myself in a void. I just reinvented myself. In fact, this YouTube channel is probably about reinventing myself in one small way. I took on a workshop so that I could just do woodwork. It's not part of my career. It's just something I was interested in. I play golf, as I said. I go meet my friends for coffee. I've got 2 friends I meet for coffee. I've known them since I was 5 years old. I'm now 63. So what's that, 58 years? 58 years of knowing somebody and we still go for coffee. Yeah, of course, we're slower than we used to be. We don't meet as often as we should. All those usual things. But when we do, they're going through the similar sort of process that I'm going through. So we're all in the same boat. It's not unique. So don't think it's just you. If you do feel a little bit let down with yourself, or you're feeling that you don't feel like you've got the same value as you used to, you most certainly do. If you do feel like that, maybe do a day a week at a charity, help people out that way, and see how that goes. You might have noticed that I made a quick jump away then because somebody came along, and you can tell I'm not a YouTuber because I got dead embarrassed. You and I know that I'm talking to you, but they think I'm talking to fresh air, I think, or talking to a camera. Anyway, I found it embarrassing. I'll have to learn that, I guess, won't I? So that's it, really. I guess if there should be a takeaway from this video, is that all of us are feeling the same. Well, mostly we are. We've all got our issues, whether it be health, whether it be finance, whether it be something else. But none of it is insurmountable. All of it is something that you can deal with. Now, I'm going off because I've got to go down and see my father-in-law, which is possibly the next subject that we're going to cover, and that's looking after elderly parents. Again, something I wasn't expecting, but it's a joy. Hard, but a joy. Until the next video, you take good care of yourself.